Hey, what's up, guys? It's the boys of OUTspoken. We are down one queen today, but she's been very, very busy. She's a working lady, but she will be back.
She got eliminated.
It's fine. No,
it was your votes. I'm sorry.
We lip sync for our life, and she lost.
But,
now sashay away.
Next time we... Just kidding. Speaking of messy queens, you guys.
The messy.
This episode today, we're going to be talking about some notable public figures within our community that have kind of been in the headlines lately.
We've all been messy, but we're not talking that kind of messy. We're not talking being lit and WeHo and you're just like spilling your beans to your ex's best friend.
Right. Can you imagine?
We're not talking mess. We're talking like a kind of a disappointment to our community.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, totally.
Definitely,
100%.
I mean, I know everyone's heard about this because it's so huge next to the Harvey Weinstein incident. Kevin Spacey. An A-lister. I mean, he's got shows out. He's got a movie coming out. Right, you know, supposedly, but you're telling me they're going to edit him out now, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, with everything that's been going on in Hollywood, the power of the rich white man has been crumbling down with Weinstein. Kind of started with him, and now Kevin Spacey, like you said, he's always been like, you know, that actor we all knew was gay, you know, and he's a really talented guy, but all these allegations have come out, and now
he's like never confirmed it before here, right? Like,
yeah, that's kind of the big controversy. That's what I think most people in our community were disappointed by, is
like,
that
he picked a hell of a time to come out.
Right. There's been people in our community that have been fighting for years, out and open publicly, like Ellen and Neil Patrick Harris, and you know, there's been a lot of people that have been openly supportive of our community. And for someone who's so A-list as him, a lot of people would say he should have been someone who, you know, was an out proud man, because everyone kind of knew already. Yeah. And the fact that he is using, you know, rape allegations against him as the time to, oh yeah, and I'm gay. It's not a good look for us or him.
Exactly, and I think that's most importantly, this is the thing. There's already so many stigmas on our community. Right. People have this perception of what they think gay men are and what happens in the gay community. And by him using the time to, you know, when all these sexual allegations are coming out, to use that as an opportunity to come out as a gay man, it doesn't help our cause at all.
No.
Because people are relating his sickness of, you know, coming on to someone, you know, being someone who's sexually assaulted someone.
It gives validation to like the bigots who already think we're pervs and that we're deviants and that and now it's like, oh, see, we told you they touch kids. Look at that. Look there, proof.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. You got those bigots in the South that are just like, you see. Now, I told y'all them little faggots were all pervs, and they need to burn in hell. And it's like, that's far from what the LGBTQ community is about. Just like the straight people have sour apples, our community has sour apples.
I mean,
and it's weird to say like, oh, it was the wrong time to come out, because that's almost not possible. It's like, oh yeah, come out whenever. This was a wrong time.
Right. There's figures in the entertainment world that are living gay lives but haven't publicly came out yet. Right. So it's pretty much like, yeah, everybody knows that they're gay and they themselves know that they're gay. So it's not really a matter of them coming out. It's more so like saying it to the public as a public figure. Right. So I kind of look at it as Kevin Spacey has been living as a gay man already for quite some time.
Right. And everybody knows.
And everybody pretty much knows.
But do you think there's validation to the argument then that people that have these positions of power and that are gay are doing a disservice to our community by remaining silent? Or not making a publicly, you know, do you feel like it's their obligation to speak for our community or stand up for our community or be a voice for our community?
There's a part of me that feels like yes. It's like, just because how I feel. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was a dumb part of me back in the day when I was living in a small country-ass town that felt like I was gonna have to do what the norm was, what you know, society says. This was, you know, marry a woman, and I thought I was gonna have to kind of do guys on the side,
like a Brian situation.
Yeah.
She's not even here to defend herself right now.
You know what I mean? But it's like, but I can't even fathom like doing that to someone or being that person. But the fact is, in Hollywood, you kind of have to play this part in order to get booked, because people don't want to go see a gay man playing the lead role. Women want to be able to lust. Unfortunately, that's kind of what the production houses believe.
In a lot of ways, this can be an eye opener for a lot of, you know, famous people who are in the industry who are not out yet and maybe are having, because I do believe that sometimes a person not coming out can affect you psychologically in some ways and make you do things outside of the norm or whatever. You know what I mean? Do things that wouldn't necessarily be appropriate. And I'm not trying to justify it for Kevin Spacey at all. But the more people that come out, it will keep
more normal it is.
Exactly.
Right.
And it'll also keep people from feeling comfortable to do these kinds of acts to people, you know? Like, he needs to release some kind of statement that, you know, because right now, by him choosing this time to come out, it's shed a negative light on our community. You know,
no, I think.
If I'm saying, and if the world was more perfect and Kevin Spacey was a good person, he would release a statement saying this has nothing to do with my sexuality. This has to do with that I have a sickness. Like it's not.
I mean, the damage is already done. I feel at this point, it's not going to matter. He doesn't give a shit about our community.
Obviously, I'm just saying in a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world. So,
but anyways,
he's got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, I was gonna say.
The good thing is like he's done. We're now in today's world, like thanks to I think like social media and just having access to so much information, honestly, like we wouldn't have 10 years ago. I don't know if this would have came. Well, it didn't. It didn't come out. This happened a long time ago, but I think because
social media it's you can't hide.
People.
Another figure in our community that might not be quite as well known as Kevin Spacey is a local artist named Zachary Crane, who, if you don't know, he is actually a very talented artist. He paints a lot of pop culture figures and things like that. He's an artist that I followed for a long time. You know, I'm a gay artist and I love pop culture and pop art. So he has a lot of problematic behavior. You know, he comes with a lot of the West Hollywood stereotype about him. But his latest drama happened on Halloween when he decided it would be a good idea to dress in blackface.
As Storm from X-Men, right?
Right. Maybe he just didn't know, but he thought it would be a good idea. What do you guys think about that?
Sorry, I don't believe anybody doesn't know that's not okay in 2017.
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel like if you're not woke enough in that aspect, I can only imagine like how you feel
in the rest of your life,
because that's just a given and that's a fucking no.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The part that was the craziest about that Zachary Crane thing was that when everybody called him out for it, his reaction, his response to everybody calling him out on his shit, he got defensive and was like,
Storm's my favorite character.
I try to justify it instead of like acknowledging, oh, okay, this is why that was why people would view that as inappropriate, and kind of take responsibility for it, and still say that wasn't my intent. Yeah. But he was just he had like a kind of like, well, I don't give a fuck what you guys think type attitude.
Like what is that, entitlement of some kind? What would that be called? What would that be called?
I believe it's white
privilege. I wonder. And it wasn't even just, it was like bad blackface. Like he had white lipstick, but then it looks even more like the old caricature, the racist character. It was horrible.
It was terrible.
It was horrible. We came from a little bit. There's an artist that we follow, a music artist, and he posted a little rap about Zachary Crane and his ignorance. And we commented, and I guess we got blocked. So I guess no harm, no foul. You know, we're gonna say what we say. This is how it goes.
If he would have like took the feedback and would have been like, oh, gotcha. Even though I should have known, I'm sorry I didn't, because I'm a dumbass. But I am sorry, I won't do it again. I see where you're coming from, you're right, like what the fuck was I thinking? Mm-hmm. But to defend himself over it, it's like, get over your ego, get over your pride, get over this privilege you think you have, because that's a no-go, I don't care who you are.
Well, people are saying he knew. He's just kind of an attention whore, West Hollywood stereotype type person. That's what people say, that he knew, and he always does stunning things. Like this is going to come as a big surprise to you both, but he is a Trump supporter, I believe.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Actually. So that makes it even worse.
He's posted himself wearing, Trump gear and Make America Great, whether he's doing it ironically or whatnot. I mean, it would definitely make sense for someone who's a Trump supporter to dress in blackface. So
I get it. He's just a dumbass.
Right.
But you know what? Thank you to Zachary Crane. People like Zachary Crane raise the subject, gets us to have these conversations about people like him within our community. Right. Because now it's all this stuff, it's bringing it to the light. People have to start taking ownership and responsibility and take accountability for things that they say or that they might do that are ignorant.
From the Harvey Weinsteins of the world all the way down to the Zachary Cranes.
Exactly.
You're going to be held accountable in this day and age for the things that you say and the things that you do. Well, how horrible they are. You're gonna get called now. It's kind of like open season on assholes right now.
Right.
So it's kind of good.
Imagine like being his like black friend. Like
the one that he
mean,
has.
you would think he has some kind of involvement in any other ethnic group. Then you know why? You know that's why. If you don't, if you're in a circle and all your friends are white, or vice versa, or all brown, or all
right, you're limiting yourself.
Go live life, baby.
Yeah.
Right.
Go meet people. And so I'm just like, how could I look at you the same way as your friend? Like, dude, what did you do? Like, that's offensive to me. You don't give a fuck about what I think or what I'm going through currently because you're not obviously for the cause.
Right.
So, the nerve.
Right. The nerve, right. Setting us back.
The nerve.
Setting us all back.
That's the headline. The nerve.
The nerve. Yes.
With my cigarette.
And last but definitely not least, this is pretty much a 3-for-1 special when it comes to dumbasses in our community. You have Kathy Griffin against Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper, and Mr. Harvey Levin from TMZ.
The battle words this week, or over the past couple of weeks.
Right. So as many of you may know, Kathy Griffin was under a lot of fire for holding that what looked to be a severed Trump head with a bunch of ketchup on it. She lost her job with Anderson Cooper for New Year's Eve, hosting that big party. Right. And Anderson didn't really have Kathy Griffin's back at all.
We talked about this on the show. That we were kind of, it's kind of an ass. Right, it's not a good friend to choose. He has enough power and cred in the industry that it wouldn't have hurt him to defend his friend, but not necessarily her actions.
Right, exactly.
So it shows that he was a little, what did she call him? A spineless heiress?
She called him a spineless heiress, which actually a lot of people tried to get on her case about it too. Yeah. Like, oh my God, that was kind of homophobic. Like,
whatever.
No, I'm a homo and I'm going to tell you, Anderson Cooper, you're a spineless heiress. That's what you are.
I agree with the sentiment. People say a straight woman shouldn't say it, but girl,
well, I'll say it for her. So later on, Andy Cohen did a random, it was interview on the street type thing with TMZ, where he was asked about Kathy Griffin, and he basically did a Mariah Carey reference that it was like, who? I don't know her type thing. Right. Well, Kathy Griffin did not,
like a joke. Well, even though she's a comedian.
Right, exactly.
But she just was like, oh, bitch, don't do that.
Right, exactly.
Well, and I'm sure she's feeling a certain way because, at the end of the day, he did take a job.
He did take a job.
Right.
Which is fine, whatever. But Kathy Griffin posted a video on her YouTube channel basically exposing Andy Cohen for the type of boss. 17 minutes worth of her exposing Andy Cohen and also exposing Harvey Levin from TMZ.
Right.
Well, I didn't know, and maybe I should have, but he's in bed with Trump.
A lot of people associated with NBC and higher up in NBC do have close connections with Trump. He did have a hit show on the network, The Apprentice.
Makes me not want to support TMZ.
Right.
I hate that.
Well,
every now and then I'll flick it on.
But that's the times we live in. You pick and choose what you want to support and don't. Once you learn the true facts about something, we could go on all day. You just separated an artist from their art, but in the times that we live in right now that are so politically charged, we do have to look at things like this to decide where we want to put our money.
He gave the tea.
Exactly.
Right. Well, a lot of people are saying she's biting the hand that feeds her. She did work for Bravo and Andy for many years, which is another reason why maybe she has so much personal investment in the situation. Do you think she's kind of bit the hand that fed her and now kind of screwed herself out of more work?
Of course, you can look at it that way. That's a fair assumption to look at her as look at it as she's biting the hand that feeds her. But don't forget, Kathy Griffin also went as far as to accuse Andy Cohen of offering her coke when she was going to be on Watch What Happens Live, which is alleged. We don't know if it's true. Whatever. I think it would be. I can imagine it. But that's just my opinion. Also, she went as far as to accuse Andy of also being a really horrible boss to her and making her miserable during the time that they were.
I think she never felt really supported by him or the network as part of it, and Andy.
Bitch, I brought you Emmys,
probably the first and maybe only Emmys that Bravo has. I don't know. She was good for their network, and it was good for her.
Atlanta, they got an Emmy.
Really? Right? Oh. But I personally am glad she's spilling the tea. I think maybe her feelings got a little in it, and it kind of exasperated the situation. Maybe if she would have slept on it for a couple of days, she would have.
It was a little a mistake. You feel like it is gonna tarnish her.
Will
she be able to get work on TV? Is what I'm asking. Do you?
I think she still will. I think she'll still have a career. She's had a whole career based on messiness.
And she's selling out in her tours.
Right.
Well, Kathy, I'm still here for you, sis. I'm gonna support you regardless. I feel like I'm glad you're speaking now because there's a part of you that feels like you should be silenced being in the industry and being scared of not working. But honestly, if you're feeling a certain way, especially with these allegations, girl, speak your truth.
Right, exactly. And Kathy Griffin also is raising a lot of awareness to the misogyny that women, you know, have to deal with in the industry.
That's another complaint against Andy, which, you know, her complaint is he's built an empire off of women's misery and drama.
100%, yeah.
Okay. Bitch, I love women except for 1 week out the month.
No. Now we are gonna have them coming for our misogynistic.
Girl, I will be the first to admit that there is a lot of misogyny that can come out of, you know, people from our community as well too. You know what I mean?
Well, look at all of these: Harvey Levin, Anderson Cooper, Kevin Spacey. All of these people are, at the end of the day, they're still rich white men, whether they're gay or not. They are wealthy white men, and a lot of them have had a little bit of privilege in their life, Anderson. And there's a misogyny that builds with being a white man in society, you know? So, you know, it's good that she's I'm glad she's calling it out. I don't know, you know, if she should have went everywhere with everything. The coke allegations, that's putting someone on blast, whether it's true or not. It's true. I think it's true. But,
no, I mean, I'm glad she did. I mean, because if that is the case, like, shame on you. All right, y'all. Those were just a few disappointments we had in our community. And hey, we're human too. You know, we're like the streets. We have people in our community that we're not so proud of. And we should call them out, especially with the stuff that's going on with these few people. But we thank you for watching us, and we hope you have a great week. We are the boys of Outspoken.
Until next time.
Thanks, guys.
I love women except for 1 week out the month.
Now we are gonna have them coming for our misogynistic.
Girl. The nerve.
Chop.